Chapter 16 Gems in Indian History. Let's learn Sushruta and Charak, Kalidas, Tansen, J.P. Nayak, Rabindranath Tagore. Many of the greatest personalities in the field of medicine, literature, education, music and arts were born in India. Let us read about some of them. Sushruta and Charak. Medicine was very advanced in ancient India, unlike the West. The Atharva Veda was the first Indian book that dealt with diseases and their treatment. Later, two famous works of medicine were written. These were the Sushrut Samhita, written by Sushrut, a surgeon, and the Charak Samhita, written by Charak, a physician. These two famous scholars of the Ayurveda were the pioneers in developing medical science in ancient India. In the Sushrut Samhita, Sushrut described methods of operating cataracts. He has also described the methods of surgical removal of stones in gallbladder and kidney and treating fractures. He also invented techniques of grafting skin and muscles to restructure amputated organs like the nose and ears. This is the reason he is also called the father of plastic surgery. In Charak Samhita, Charak describes various types of fever, leprosy, hysteria and tuberculosis. He has described a large number of plants and herbs which were used as medicine. He described in detail the various stages through which food passes before being fully digested. The book is thus useful not only for study of ancient Indian medicine but also for ancient Indian herbs and chemistry. Indian medicines are developed on the lines laid down by Charak. Info Hive.
The exact period of Sushruta is unclear, but most scholars put him between 600 to 1000 BCE.
Info Hive. Sushrut used wine, that is som, as an anesthetic during surgery. Kalidas. Kalidas was a Sanskrit poet and dramatist, and probably the greatest Indian writer. He lived during the reign of King Chandragupta II, also known as Vikramaditya of the Gupta dynasty. Kalidas wrote some very famous works. Two of his famous poems are Raghuvansha and Kumar Sambhava.
His works include Meghdut and Ritu Samhara.
The most famous work of Kalidas is the play Abhigyan Shakuntalam. It is based on the events and characters taken from the Mahabharata. The play is popular not only in India but throughout the world. It has been translated into many Indian and foreign languages. Tansen considered as the greatest musician in India. Tansen was instrumental
in the creation of the classical music that dominates the north of India. He was considered as one of the Navratnas, 9 gems,
in the court of Emperor Akbar. Tansen was born in a Hindu family in a place called Gwalior, located in Madhya Pradesh. Tansen learnt music from his guru Swami Haridas, who was considered to be a legendary teacher of that time. It is said that Tansen had no equal apart from his teacher. Tansen is said to have performed astonishing miracles merely by singing. He could bring rain by singing in a particular rag known as Megh Malhar. Similarly, he could start a fire by singing in Rag Deepak. He also composed several ragas that have been the foundation of classical music like Bhairavi, Darbari Todi, Darbari Kannada, Malhar, Sarang and Rageshwari. Brain Tickler. What are the descendants of Tansen called? Brain Tickler. Can you name the other 8 gems in Akbar's court? Jayant Pandurang Nayak. Jayant Pandurang Nayak, also known as J.P. Nayak, was a great freedom fighter, humanist, thinker, socialist and educationist. He is recognized by the UNESCO alongside Rabindranath Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi as one of the three pioneering Indian educationists. Also known as an institution maker, he was born at Bahirewadi, a very small town in Kolhapur district. He began his educational activities right from 1930s by establishing primary schools in rural areas. Nayak founded the Indian Institute of Education in 1948 and authored two books on history of modern Indian education. He served as member secretary of the Indian Education Commission from 1964 to 1966. He was also the educational advisor to the Government of India. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1974. Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was a poet, writer, musician and philosopher. He was born in 1861 in Calcutta, now Kolkata. His parents were Debendranath Tagore and Sharada Devi. Young Tagore was popularly known as Rabi. Music was an important part of the Tagore family. Rabi too liked poetry and music. He wrote his first poem, Banful, when he was just 15 years old. It was later published in a magazine. Rabindranath had a keen interest in the folk music of Bengal. He used it in many of his songs. Jana Gana Mana, our national anthem, was composed by Rabindranath Tagore. The national anthem of Bangladesh, Amar Sonar Bangla, was also composed by him. Tagore wrote nearly 50 books and more than 3,000 poems. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. He was also honored by the British government.
However, he returned this honor in protest against the Jallianwala Bagh massacre.
Tagore founded a school at Shanti Niketan, that is, in West Bengal, in 1901. It is now known as Vishwa Bharati University. Tagore devoted a great deal of his time to this school. He lived there till he passed away in 1941. Recap. Sushruta and Charak were pioneers of the Indian medicine system of Ayurveda. The former wrote Sushruta Samhita and the later wrote Charak Samhita. Kalidas was a Sanskrit poet and dramatist. Tansen was an unmatchable singer of Akbar's court. J.P. Nayak was a freedom fighter and an educationist. Rabindranath Tagore was a poet, writer, musician and philosopher. Life skills. Ma'am, in today's age of high-tech machinery and technology, we do not need ancient methods of medicine. Then, why do we study about them? Preeti, our ancient medical pioneers, scholars and scientists have showed us the way to reach where we are today. If those people had not written about their knowledge, we would not have made progress at such a fast pace. So, we must respect our great ancestors and learn from them. That is true, ma'am. Knowledge never gets old. Values for life.
Be proud of your illustrious forefathers.
Take inspiration from them and try to emulate their great achievements. This would be your true tribute to them.